Let us begin with question number 1. Climate change is caused by. The correct answer is D. Greenhouse gases and pollutions are directly responsible for ozone depletion, while depletion of the ozone layer is indirectly responsible for climate change. Hence option D is the correct answer. Question number 2. The main reason of climate change is. The correct answer is D. The main reason of climate change is the emission of greenhouse gases, a gas that contributes to the greenhouse effect by absorbing infrared radiation, example, carbon dioxide and chlorofluorocarbons, which are the main causes of the depletion of the ozone layer. This ozone layer prevents most harmful ultraviolet light, UV, from passing through the Earth's atmosphere. Pollution due to human activity is also a prime reason for climate change. Question number 3. Where was the climate change conference held in the year 2015? The correct answer is A. The 2015 United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP21, was held in Paris, France, from 30th November to 12th December 2015. In 2022, COP27 was held in El Sheikh, Egypt, which was earlier scheduled to be held in 2021. Question number 4. How much has the global average temperature risen in the last century? The correct answer is B. Earth's average surface air temperature has increased by about 1 degree Celsius, 1.8 degrees Fahrenheit, since 1900, with over half of the increase occurring since the mid-1970s. A wide range of other observations, such as reduced Arctic sea ice extent and increased ocean heat content, and indications from the natural world, such as poleward shifts of temperature-sensitive species of fish, mammals, insects, etc., together provide incontrovertible evidence of planetary-scale warming. Question number 5. United Nations Climate Action Summit 2025 was held at which of the following cities? The correct answer is D. The 2025 UN Climate Action Summit, also known as the Climate Summit 2025, was a high-level event held on 24 September 2025 at the UN headquarters in New York. It served as the primary platform for nearly 100 countries to present their new and updated nationally determined contributions, NDCs, ahead of the COP30 negotiations in Brazil. Question number 6. Greenhouse effect is the process. The correct answer is B. The greenhouse effect is a natural process that warms the Earth's surface. When the sun's energy reaches the Earth's atmosphere, some of it is reflected back to space and the rest is absorbed and re-radiated by greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases include water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, ozone and some artificial chemicals such as chlorofluorocarbons, CFC. The absorbed energy warms the atmosphere and the surface of the Earth, popularly known as greenhouse effect. Question number 7. What is greenhouse effect? The correct answer is A. Greenhouse effect is caused by the absorption of infrared radiation by environmental gases, mainly carbon dioxide. This phenomenon raises the temperature of the environment. Question number 8. The concept of greenhouse gases was postulated by. The correct answer is C. The concept of greenhouse gases was postulated by Joseph Fourier in 1824. Question number 9. Kyoto Protocol is related to. The correct answer is C. The Kyoto Protocol is an international agreement linked to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, which commits its parties by setting internationally binding emission reduction targets. Question number 10. Consider the following statements. 1. Kyoto Protocol came into force in the year 2005. 2. Kyoto Protocol deals primarily with the depletion of the ozone layer. 3. Methane as a greenhouse gas is more harmful than carbon dioxide. Which of the statements given above are correct? The correct answer is B. The Kyoto Protocol was adopted in Kyoto on 11 December 1997 and entered into force on 16 February 2005. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The Kyoto Protocol is an international agreement linked to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Hence, statement 2 is incorrect. The global warming potential, GWP, of a gas depends on the efficiency of the atoms of that gas and its environmental life cycle. The environmental life cycle of carbon dioxide is changeable while its global warming potential remain constant, GWP 1. The global warming potential of methane was observed 72 in the last 20 years. Therefore, methane is more dangerous and effective as a greenhouse gas than carbon dioxide. Question number 11. Greenhouse effect is enhanced in the environment due to. The correct answer is B. Greenhouse effect is the result of the absorption of infrared radiation by environmental gases. Main greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide and chlorofluorocarbon. Question number 12. Which among the following countries has announced to impose carbon tax from 2019 to cut its greenhouse gas emission? The correct answer is C. Government of Singapore in February 2018 declared that it will impose a carbon tax to reduce greenhouse gas emissions as a part of its commitments under the Paris Climate Agreement. Question number 13. Which one of the following gases is not a greenhouse gas? The correct answer is D. Greenhouse gas in an atmosphere is a gas that absorbs and emits radiation within the thermal infrared range. This process is the fundamental cause of the greenhouse effect. The primary greenhouse gases in Earth's atmosphere are carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide and ozone. Hence, D is the correct answer. Question number 14. Which one of the following gases is both harmful and beneficial to life on Earth? The correct answer is D. Plants use carbon dioxide to produce carbohydrates, sugars and starches, in the process known as photosynthesis. Since humans and all other animals depend on plants for their food, photosynthesis is necessary for the survival of all life on Earth. It is also a greenhouse gas which is very harmful to us. Therefore, carbon dioxide is both useful as well as harmful to life on Earth. Question number 15. Today the largest contributor to carbon dioxide, CO, emissions is. The correct answer is A. According to the latest data available in the 2020, largest contributor to carbon dioxide emission is China. It emits about 28% of the world's total carbon emission. The United States is in second place with 15% and India is in third place with 7%. Russia is in fourth place with 5% and Japan is in fifth place in terms of carbon emission with 3% of the world's total CO emission. Question number 16. Which of the following countries is the largest emitter of carbon? The correct answer is B. China is the largest emitter of carbon globally. Question number 17. Which of the following is known as carbon negative country in the world? The correct answer is C. Bhutan is known as the world's top carbon negative country. Question number 18. Which one among the following substances does not contribute to global warming directly? The correct answer is A. Oxide of sulfur do not contribute to global warming directly, while other gases given in option contribute to global warming. Question number 19. What is Greenhouse Gas Protocol? The correct answer is A. The Greenhouse Gas Protocol, GHG Protocol, is the most widely used international accounting work for government and business leaders to understand, quantify and manage greenhouse gas emission. A decade-long partnership between the World Resource Institute, WRI, and the World Business Council for Sustainable Development, the GHG Protocol is working with businesses, governments and environmental groups around the world to build a new generation of credible and effective programs for tackling climate change. Hence, A is the correct answer. Question number 20. Which of the above statements is correct? The correct answer is A. The Kyoto Protocol, an international agreement under the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, was adopted on 11 December 1997 in Kyoto, Japan. Kyoto Protocol came into effect on 16 February 2005. It was adopted as a binding agreement to reduce greenhouse gas emission the level of 1990. It had provision to reduce by 5% methane is about 86 times more power as greenhouse than CO. Question number 21. With reference to the agreement at the UNFCCC meeting in Paris in 2015, which of the following statements are correct? The correct answer is B. A historic agreement to combat climate change and unleash actions and investment towards a low-carbon, resilient and sustainable future was agreed by 194 nations at UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, in Paris on 12 December 2015. Hence, statement is not correct. The Universal Agreement's main aim is to keep global temperature rise this century well below 2 degrees Celsius and to drive efforts to limit the temperature increase even further to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial level. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Governments decided that they will work to define a clear roadmap on mission climate finance $100 billion by 2020. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Question number 22. In the context of India's preparation for climate-smart agriculture, consider the following statements. The correct answer is D. Rajpakar is a climate-smart village, CSV, a part of a project led by the CGIAR Research Program on Climate Change, Agriculture and Food Security, CCFS. Built on the principles of CSA, this program provides technological, organizational and systemic support to farmers in association with institutions to help them cope with climate change, in 36 sites across 20 countries. The governance and management of the CGIAR Research Program on Climate Change, Agriculture and Food Security, CCFS, based on lessons learned by CGIAR headquartered in France. Question number 23. In the context of mitigating the impending global warming due to anthropogenic emissions of carbon dioxide, which of the following can be the potential sites for carbon sequestration? The correct answer is D. Carbon sequestration is the process of capturing and storing atmospheric carbon in plants, geologic structures and sea. In the context of mitigating the impending global warming due to anthropogenic emissions of carbon dioxide, abandoned and uneconomical coal seams, depleted oil and gas reservoirs, and subterranean deep saline formations could be the potential sites for carbon sequestration. Question number 24. In rural road construction, the use of which of the following is preferred for ensuring environmental sustainability or to reduce carbon footprint? The correct answer is A. In rural mud construction, the use of copper slag, cold mesh asphalt technology and geotextiles are preferred for ensuring environmental sustainability or to reduce carbon footprint. Question number 25. Which of the following statements best describes carbon fertilization? The correct answer is A. The carbon fertilization effect suggests that the increase of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere increases the rate of photosynthesis in plants. The effect varies depending on the plant species, the temperature and the availability of water and marines. From a quarter to half of Earth's vegetation lands has shown significant greening over the last 35 years, largely due to rising levels of atmospheric carbon dioxide. Question number 26. Regarding carbon credits, which one of the following statements is not correct? The correct answer is D. The Kyoto Protocol established caps on the maximum quantity of greenhouse gas emissions. These countries set internal quotas on emissions from installations countries run by local business and other organizations. Question number 27. The concept of carbon credit originated from? The correct answer is B. The concept of carbon credit originated from Kyoto Protocol. A carbon credit is a permit that allows the company that holds it to emit a certain amount of carbon dioxide or other greenhouse gases. One credit permits the emission of a mass equal to 1 ton of carbon dioxide. The Kyoto Protocol was adopted on 11 December 1997. Owing to a complex ratification process, it entered into force on 16 February 2005. Currently, there are 192 parties to the Kyoto Protocol. In short, the Kyoto Protocol operationalizes the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change by committing industrialized countries and economies in transition to limit and reduce greenhouse gases (GHG) emissions in accordance with agreed individual targets. The convention itself only asks those countries to adopt policies and measures on mitigation and to report periodically. Question number 28. Biocarbon Fund Initiative for Sustainable Forest Landscapes is managed by the? The correct answer is D. The Biocarbon Fund Initiative for Sustainable Forest Landscapes, ISFL, is a multilateral fund supported by donor governments and managed by the World Bank. This band seeks to promote a reduction in greenhouse gases from the land sector. Question number 29. Consider the following statement. The correct answer is B. The Climate and Clean Air Coalition, CCAC, is a voluntary partnership of governments, intergovernmental organizations, business, scientific institutions and civil society organizations committed to improving air quality and protecting the climate through actions to reduce short-lived climate pollutants. It is a coalition formed by 53 countries and various institutions. CCAC mainly focuses on methane, black carbon and hydrofluorocarbons, HFCs. Along with spreading awareness about the effects of short-lived climate pollutants, the coalition also works for its mitigation strategy and to promote new operations at the regional and national level. Along with this, the allies of the coalition also recognize the fact that minimization of short-lived climate pollutants is capable of working as supplementary and supplement in global efforts to minimize carbon dioxide. Question number 30. Concerning Forest Carbon Partnership Facility, which of the following statements are correct? The correct answer is C. The Forest Carbon Partnership Facility, FCPF, is a World Bank program which was established in 2008 and consists of a readiness fund and a carbon fund. Question number 31. Which of the following is not related to the astronomical theories of climate change? The correct answer is D. Astronomical theory of climate change was propounded in 1920 by astronomer Milutin Milankovic. It states that the variation in eccentricity, axial tilt and precession of the Earth's orbit determines climatic patterns on Earth through orbital forcing. Hence, solar irradiance is not concerned with this theory. Question number 32. Who had suggested that shifting Earth on its axis is one of the factors responsible for the climatic change? The correct answer is B. According to the astronomical theory of climate change, Earth's movement produces an effect on climate change. In 1920, Serbian geophysicist and astronomer Milutin Milankovic theorized that variation in eccentricity, axial tilt and precession of the Earth's orbit results in cyclical variation in the solar radiation reaching the Earth. This orbital forcing influences climatic pattern on Earth. Question number 33. Which of the following are the primary causes of climate change? The correct answer is B. There are two primary causes of climate change: factors that increase carbon emission and factors that increase carbon absorption. The causes of increase in carbon emission include excessive burning of the fossil fuels, exploding numbers of automobiles driven by oil, etc., while the carbon absorption rate is declining due to excessive deforestation. Therefore, carbon concentrations are increasing in the atmosphere, which is affecting the climate by increasing the greenhouse effect. NASA and other studies do not consider the solar flare as a major cause of climate change. Thus, option B is correct. Question number 34. Which one of the following provides the cryogenic indicator of climate change? The correct answer is A. An ice core is a core sample that is typically removed from an ice sheet, most commonly from the polar ice p of Antarctica, Greenland, or from high mountain glaciers elsewhere. As the ice forms the incremental building of annual layers of snow, lower layers are older than upper, and an ice core contains ice formed over a range of years. The properties of the ice and the recrystallized clarification needed inclusions within the ice can then be used in reconstruct a climatic record over the age range of the core, normally through isotopic analysis. This enables the reconstruction of local temperature records and the history of atmospheric composition. Question number 35. With reference to Global Climate Change Alliance, which of the following statements are correct? The correct answer is A. The GCCA was established by the European Union in 2007 to strengthen dialogue and cooperation with developing countries, in particular, least developed countries, LDCs, and small island developing states, SIDS. It started its work in just 4 countries. Today it has a budget of more than £300 million and is one of the most significant climate initiatives in the world. It supports 51 programs around the world and is active in 38 countries, 8 regions and subregions and at the global level. It completes its goal through two interactive strong pillars. These include providing technical and financial assistance to targeted developing countries for the integration of climate change in their development policies and budgets. The overall aim of GCCA is to create a new treaty between the European Union and the poor developing countries who have the least potential to deal with climate change. It is coordinated by the European Commission, EC. Question number 36. India's first National Action Plan on Climate Change was released in. The correct answer is A. India's first National Action Plan on Climate Change was released in June 2008 by the then Prime Minister, Manmohan Singh. Question number 37. Which of the following is not listed under 8 actions of the Climate Action Plan of Government of India? The correct answer is B. Climate Action Plan of Government of India was launched on 30th June 2008. 8 national mission under this action plan is as below. 1. National Solar Mission 2. National Mission for Enhanced Energy Efficiency 3. National Mission on Sustainable Habitat 4. National Water Mission 5. National Mission for Sustaining the Himalaya Ecosystem 6. National Mission for Green India 7. National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture 8. National Mission on Strategic Knowledge for Climate Change. Question number 38. When was Jharkhand Action Plan on Climate Change published? The correct answer is A. Supported by UNDP, the state government of Jharkhand initiated the process to develop Jharkhand Action Plan on Climate Change. On May 2011, the State Steering Group and State Advisory Group, SAG, were formed through a state government notification. The Department of Environment and Forests led the preparation of JAPT in consultation with various departments. On 23 December 2013, final public consultation meeting was organized at Jamshedpur for sharing of the draft. JAPT shared it with concerned departments and the general public for comments and feedback. JAPT endeavors reframing development pathways with low carbon growth, at the same time ensuring that development opportunities are protected, supported and increased. Question number 39. According to Jharkhand Action Plan on Climate Change Report, 2014, which is the most sensitive district? The correct answer is B. According to Jharkhand Plan on Climate Change Report, 2014, Saraikela Kharsawa is the most sensitive district with the score of 0.78, which shows its vulnerability. The measurement is prepared on the scale of -1 to +1, which shows respective vulnerability. Question number 40. Which of the following statements regarding global warming are correct? The correct answer is C. According to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, a rise in temperature between 1.4 to 5.8 degrees Celsius has been estimated between 1990 to 2100 AD. This would result in melting polar ice caps and subsequent rise in sea level. As per IPCC, the sea level is expected to rise from 0.33 m to 0.45 m from 1990 to 2100 AD. Hence, statement 1 is correct while 2 is not correct. The rise in sea level is estimated to be 3 mm per year. At Fiji, it's 0.15 meter per year. Hence, by 2044, Fiji is likely to be submerged. Question number 41. Which of the following statements are correct about the deposits of methane hydrate? The correct answer is D. Methane hydrate is a crystalline solid which contains a methane molecule surrounded by water molecules. Methane hydrate usually exists in form of ice. Global warming might trigger the release of methane gas from these deposits. Large deposits of methane hydrate have been found in Arctic tundra, and under the seafloor methane is relatively short-lived in the atmosphere. It oxidizes in atmosphere into carbon dioxide after a decade or two. It also contributes into greenhouse effect on the earth. Hence option D is the correct answer. Question number 42. Scientists of Manchester University recently suggested controlling global warming by cloud brightening over the Pacific Ocean through geoengineering. Which of the following substances is used for this? The correct answer is C. Scientists of Manchester University have suggested using seawater for creating brightening clouds for maximum reflection of sun rays. This will help control global warming. Question number 43. Consider the following agricultural practices. 1. Contour bunding. 2. Relay cropping. 3. Zero tillage. In the context of global climate change, which of the above helps in carbon sequestration storage in the soil? The correct answer is C. Any method which helps the soil to retain more organic matter so that it may work as an effective carbon sink would be helpful in carbon sequestration or storage. Contour bunding is one of the extensively used soil and water conservation technique in several rainfed areas. Contour bunding is a mechanical measure which minimizes the soil erosion. Relay cropping means that a new crop is planted or sown before the previous one is harvested. This can provide advantages for both crops, as one of them may provide nitrogen, shade, support, or may discourage pests. The obvious benefit of relay cropping is soil conservation. Zero tillage is also based on the premise of soil conservation. The basic premise is to minimize the disturbances to the soil, leading to an increase in retention of water, nutrients, and topsoil itself. Zero tillage has carbon sequestration potential through storage of soil organic matter in the soil of crop fields. Thus, all the three help in carbon sequestration. Question number 44. The United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC, is an international treaty drawn at. The correct answer is B. The United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC, is an international environmental treaty adopted at the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, UNCED, informally known as the Earth Summit, held in Rio de Janeiro from 3 to 14 June 1992. Question number 45. Intended nationally determined contribution, sometimes seen in news, refers to. The correct answer is B. Countries of the world adopted a historic international climate agreement at the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change Conference of Parties, COP21, in Paris in December 2015. Countries publicly outlined post-2020 climate action they intended to take under this agreement. This was known as Intended Nationally Determined Contribution Index. Question number 46. Which of the following statements is incorrect for Green Climate Fund, GCF? The correct answer is A. Green Climate Fund, GCF, was formally established during the 2010 United Nations Climate Change Conference in Cancun, Mexico. It is a fund within the framework of the UNFCCC, founded as a mechanism to assist developing countries in adaptation and mitigation practices to counter climate change. The GCF is based in the New Songdo district of Incheon, South Korea. It is intended to be the centerpiece of efforts to raise climate finance of $100 billion a year by 2020. Question number 47. Which of the following statements regarding the Green Climate Fund are correct? The correct answer is A. Green Climate Fund, GCF, was founded as a mechanism to assist developing countries in adaptation and mitigation practices to counter climate change. The fund is governed by GCF Board. The board consists of 24 members. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. Question number 48. Which one of the following countries is the first country in the world to propose a carbon tax for its people to address global warming? The correct answer is D. A carbon tax is a fee intended to make users of fossil fuels pay for climate damage by their fuel use, whereas Sweden, Finland, the Netherlands, and Norway have already introduced carbon tax. New Zealand, in 2005, introduced for the first time a carbon tax to address global warming. Question number 49. With reference in Deep Carbon Observatory, DCO, which of the following statements are correct? 1. It is a global research program to outreach role of carbon on Earth. 2. It conducts field observations of deep microbial ecosystem. Select the correct answer using codes given below. The correct answer is C. The Deep Carbon Observatory, DCO, is a global community of more than 1,000 scientists on a 10-year quest to understand the quantities, movements, forms and origins of carbon in Earth. From 2009 to 2019, DCO Science was categorized into following 4 broad theme-based communities: extreme physics and chemistry, dedicated to improving our understanding of the physical and chemical behavior of carbon at extreme conditions, as found in the deep interiors of Earth and other planets. Reservoirs and fluxes, dedicated to identifying deep carbon reservoirs, determining how carbon moves among these reservoirs, and assessing Earth's total carbon budget. Deep energy, dedicated to understanding the volume and rates of abiogenic hydrocarbons and other organic species in the crust and mantle through geological time. Deep life, dedicated to assessing the nature and extent of the deep microbial and viral biosphere. That's all for today. See you guys next time.